Okay. So the next one is the one I actually wanted to save for last, but I was talking to a couple people and they said, don't save this for last. So disappointment. Disappointment. Wow. Okay. So, in a couple of days, well, let me not say that first. The first reason why I'm disappointed, and I'm putting up a disclaimer. I'm putting up this disclaimer. If you have done what I have done, you should be proud of yourself. I've lost 50 pounds in the last year. I'm a little more than 55 pounds lighter than I was at my heaviest weight. So, look, and actually today is what, Monday, November 26th. It's my birthday, my 34th birthday, and my 33rd birthday, I was 50 pounds heavier. So I can look back and say I've done something, and I'm happy that I'm 50 pounds lighter than I was. So let me just throw that out there. I'm not belittling my efforts. I'm not belittling anyone else who has lost 50 pounds or 40 or 30 or 10 pounds. You should be proud if you are moving forward towards your goal. No matter where you are, you should be proud that you are moving in the right direction. And if you have stopped temporarily or you started to fall back in the wrong direction, it's not too late to turn around and get back in the right direction. So I'm going to throw that out there first. For me, I'm disappointed in losing 50 pounds because I know I could have done a lot more. And this isn't just if I made a couple of tweaks here and there. This is like I could have lost 100 pounds. Seeing what it took to lose 50 pounds, and for me, I can lose a lot of weight quickly unless I hit some type of plateau. But I can lose weight. The way that I work out, I mean, my workouts are really intense. I can lose weight if I want to lose weight. I'm trying not to. I'm not in a race or anything, but my eating, I'm disappointed in that because there were a lot of times where I made bad choices, and there were a lot of times that I felt that I was forced to make bad choices. You may remember me making some videos about my wife and her health, and when she was dealing with migraines and chronic fatigue and other things, and pain that she was dealing with, and a lot of times she would plan on cooking something and couldn't cook. And so I would be real busy because after I get off work, I come home and I work on for my business. I'm trying to build it up. So when she would not be able to cook, I would go and get fast food for us, or go get pizza, or go buy her this ramen that she liked. Just whatever it was. It wasn't me coming home and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna make eggs, or I'm gonna have a can of tuna and get a bag of Dole salad from the supermarket and just mix some tuna and have tuna salad that way and be healthy. I wouldn't do that. I would go and get pizza or something like that. So I would make these excuses for why I would revert back to the old behavior that I know was bad. And that caused a lot of disappointment because I would have a week where if I would have stuck to my meal plan that I laid out in the beginning of the week, I probably would have lost 4 or 5 pounds and ended up losing 1, or ended up with a maintain. When I lost, I think, like 25 pounds, I think my mind had to get used to it, and I kept looking at myself as someone who was 25 pounds lighter, rather than saying, you know what, I'm 272 pounds, 273 pounds, and I'm at this point, or 263 pounds, I guess, and I'm trying to lose weight from this point. I kept looking at it as I was trying to lose weight from that higher number, which meant that if I looked at myself today and I ate a cheeseburger and ended up putting on a pound before my weigh-in, I could still say, you know what, I'm down 25 pounds. And I kind of coasted for like a month or two. This is before I start making videos, actually. And I think I started making videos and then got back on that, and then I got injured, and it was a lot of things. But reverting back to my old eating habits whenever any situation would come up that took me off my path. That's why I was disappointed. I had everything perfectly planned out, and when anything went against those plans, I would fall back into the old Khalif, into the things that I knew that were wrong. And but that determination said, you're not going to stay there, and you're not going to continue in those choices. If you guys remember that video I made entitled "Don't Do It," That's what I was talking about. When you make one bad decision, you don't have to continue and make another bad one, another bad one, another bad one, and say, you know what, this week is shot. I'm just going to start next week being healthy. No, you start from the very next decision. You make a bad decision right now, then the next decision you make it a good one. You don't have to wait until this start of a new week, new month, new year. You start today being healthy and getting your life back. And that's what I had to talk myself into. But so when I look back, I'm disappointed at the times that I didn't handle adversity better over this year. Also, excuse me, injuries. I'm very disappointed in some of the injuries. I was going to say that I allowed myself to be injured, but you know, if you know me, if you know anything, follow my videos when I talk about workouts or anything. Form is the most important thing to me. It doesn't matter how much weight you can lift, how much times you can push yourself up or manipulate your body. You have to have proper form. Especially being someone who's almost 300 pounds, I know that form was very important. I knew the form was very important because I could easily injure myself carrying this much weight and putting this much pressure on my joints and twisting and turning and doing the things I was doing. It wasn't like I was walking around a block for 20 minutes for my workout. I was doing things that were intense for my body. And I hurt, so I'm going to read the sentence. I hurt both of my hips, I hurt one of my knees, I hurt my ankle, I hurt my back, and I hurt my wrist. Now, those are all small injuries. They lasted a week or two, some of them less than that. I think I lost about 2 months of workout time, or at least times where I couldn't work out 100% because of those things. But my shoulder injury was the biggest one. Actually, I'm still recovering from it now. I went from being able to do 33 push-ups in a set to not being able to do a push-up at all because of the pain. Not even being able to do shoulder presses with 5-pound dumbbells. So now I'm able to do about like 12 push-ups in a set. So I'm not even close to where almost a third of what I used to be able to do back before the summer. And I'm just disappointed in all the time that I lost. I had to change my training routine continually because of that. And one thing that led to was running. And I hope Brooke is not seeing this. I really hope Brooke doesn't see this part. My disappointment with running, I can't believe I'm going to say this, is that I didn't start sooner. Let me explain. I still hate running, but I think the running and seeing the amount of progress that I made with my running really helped to give me confidence that I could do anything physically. I think that's what running did for me. Excuse me. So the running really helped me, not just with my confidence with running, but with any of my workouts. I mean, okay, I'm going to actually show you one day. I'm going to walk with you holding the camera and show you my route that I used to run. I live in a complex, a bunch of condos, and I used to run from where I live to the recycle bin and back. And I used to run to the recycle bin and walk back. And that was my running. And I would do that, and once I walked back, I would run again. I'm talking about jogging. And then come back. I wouldn't sprint. I would jog and run and come back. It's like, I don't even think it's a tenth of a mile. I honestly don't think it's a tenth of a mile at all. I'll say this. When I was playing baseball, I could throw a baseball over the dumpster, throw it way, way past the dumpster. So you're not talking about much distance at all. So I used to do that, and I actually ran 6.23 miles straight. That was the furthest that I've done. After I hurt my shoulder, I had no choice because I couldn't do my intervals anymore, because all of my intervals, any upper body movement involved putting stress and strain on my shoulder, because I use body weight for the resistance for the most part. So I couldn't do anything. Couldn't do any triceps moves. Couldn't do anything for my chest or back without involving my shoulders. And first it was both my shoulders, then it was the right one. It just continued. So with running, it really boosted my confidence. It helped to keep me going, doing something. I don't think running is an optimal exercise. Being honest now, this isn't just me saying I hate running, but it's not. There are things you can do that are more effective, but running is a lot more effective than sitting around doing nothing and wishing that a part of my body, part of my my wrist or something felt better so I can do a workout. I could have went and run during those times and really pushed myself, and who knows how far I can go right now and what I could do and how much weight I would have lost because of it. So I'm disappointed with that as well. That my running before used to be a half a mile before my workout and then a quarter of a mile after my workout. And I would do that just as a warm up and cool down. It wasn't until my shoulder got hurt that I actually decided to make running a strong part of my workout. So that's that. There's one more thing. Let me say this. As far as disappointments go, weight was never the most important thing. The number on the scale was never the most important thing. So when I talk about losing 50 pounds, it's not that I had a goal of losing 80 by the end of 1 year or anything like that. I didn't have one. I just wanted to look different and feel different. I guess I would just say I do feel different. I have a lot more energy. My clothes fit. There's some clothes I can't wear anymore. Some of them are very loose. Some of them, if I don't have a belt, some pants, they just fall down. Let me just show you my belt. I'm going to keep talking, but I'm taking my belt off just so you know what I'm doing. Because I want you to see what I did. My belt's falling apart too. But, you know, people tell me that they see a difference in me. I put up a couple NSV videos. One of them was me wearing a suit that I couldn't fit anymore. So I'm going to show you now where my... Okay, I don't know how well you can see this. This side looks better, I think. This is the last hole in my belt that was manufactured. This next hole here is 3.5 inches away. That's where I had to make my first hole. I have to now make another hole here, another about 3.5 inches away, in order for this belt to fit properly. It still won't fit around my waist completely, which is okay because my my clothes are big. And so if I get a belt, if I have the belt hold me too tight, too closely against my waist, my clothes are going to bunch up around the waist. Some of them do already, and I actually have to kind of straighten them out because they bunch up too much because they're so big for me. But all that said, my progress. I was talking to my wife, telling her, hey, you know, I'm disappointed in only losing 50 pounds because I lost it in 366 days, and I know that I could have done a lot better. Again, I'm not saying 50 pounds is nothing. What I'm saying is Khalif Crumley, fat guy, skinny wallet, could have and should have done a lot better, should have lost a lot more than that. You know, and one thing, I look at my good friend Julie Wilson, and you know, she's lost close to 80 pounds and a little over 6 months. And you know, I look at that and say, like, wow, okay, yeah, some of it was baby weight, but you know what, her baby didn't weigh 80 pounds. That most of that, pretty much all of that, was her hard work and her discipline and her really taking control of her eating and taking control of her body. And a lot of it was done when she couldn't work out, and she was able to do that. Now, I'm not comparing myself to her. It's really no comparison if I tell you someone lost 80 pounds in half the time it took me to only lose 50. But, you know, I see these things, and I know I could have done a lot better than 50. But, you know, my wife was like, you know what? We're going to take pictures. Now, if you remember, I took pictures. I'm so disgusted by these pictures. But I took pictures with only shorts on. And I actually rolled up the legs of the shorts so that you can even see, you know, my thighs, and you can see everything, belly, everything just hanging out, right? I did that. And then at my heaviest weight. Then, you know, my wife said, all right, we'll take pictures again 1 year out, and we'll look at them, put them side by side, and you'll be able to see the huge difference that I can see in your body. I wanted to be able to see a difference in my body. I want to see my arms get smaller, my chest, these boobs got to get smaller. I want to see my gut come in some so I can look down, and when I weigh myself, I could see the scale, or I could untie the strings on my jogging pants and actually be able to see it without having to take my stomach and lift it and push it back in. Yeah, simple things like that I want to be able to do. So I wanted to see that difference. We put the pictures together. She did a couple side by sides, and I didn't see much of a difference. It looked like I lost 20 pounds. Now she looked at it and said, wow, when you see these pictures, you're going to see a huge difference. So I got excited. It's like, you know what? 50 pounds didn't excite me. You know what? Even though a lot of the clothes don't fit well, I can still wear them. It's not like they fit so poorly that there's no way I could walk out the house in them. I still wear pretty much everything. When I go to work, I'm wearing the stuff that I was wearing 2-3 years ago. So it's not like I can't wear that stuff. So I was like, all right, yeah, let me look at the let me look at these pictures. Look at the picture. I look almost the same. Now, in a few days, I'm gonna put up a video. It's another slideshow with just before and after pictures going on, and I'll probably talk over it so you can see what's going on. And so you can see there's not much of a difference. So that, oh man, I actually sit and I think I was maybe depressed. I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put forth all this effort and energy. I can't believe I had all these days where I missed, where I had to be disciplined and miss meals that were good. I was over someone's house and they were offering me things they know I love. Here's some chocolate, here's some cheese, peanut butter, all this stuff. And I'm no thank you. All these substitutions that I made. Stop buying regular peanut butter, buying natural peanut butter where the only ingredient is peanuts. I mean, giving up a lot of things, making huge changes from what I was eating a couple years ago. And you're telling me after a year of doing this, after a year of being out in 100-degree weather with a hoodie on and Scully and running crazy with a full sweatsuit, and you telling me that, doing all these push-ups, done a couple thousand push-ups or more, and you're telling me that I only had this little bit of a difference and it's only 50 pounds? Are you serious? And this shirt is a shirt that I've been wearing for years. Yeah, it's real loose now, but I could still fit it. You're telling me that I don't have that much of a difference after all this work and effort and all those pizzaless weekends and everything that I was doing, everything that I was turning away, and making sure I'm drinking tons of water and making sure that I'm tracking my food and tracking my workouts and all this stuff, and you telling me my body looks almost the same? Man, I was so disappointed. I was really out of it. I really was. And then I was talking to, a little bit about this with one of my biggest supporters. I whined to my wife for a while, but, I didn't want to get her discouraged. So I didn't want to keep whining to her. So I ended up whining to one of my good friends, Kelly, about it, who's also lost a lot of weight. And then I ended up whining to Julie about it as well, over text, and they both were trying to make me shut up and stop, looking so down on myself. And I think as I kept talking to them about it, and then I would come back and talk to my wife about it, and I just started getting motivated by this. And so trust me now, I am disappointed. Like, no one's going to snap me out of being disappointed. But honestly, I'm not saying this trying to get you guys to write nice comments below about, oh, there's a big change, oh, your face, or your this. I saw my mechanic today, and he was like, yo, your face looks so much slimmer. I had a coat on, so he couldn't see my body. He just was like, yo, your face looks so much slimmer. And I walked in, and he was like, yo, where's the rest of you? Is it still outside? Like, playing around. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't see a change. Almost everybody, when they tell me, like, yo, you look so good, no, I don't. I don't see a change. I know you're being nice, but yeah, there's really not much of a change. No one's going to convince me that there is, and I'm not trying to get you guys to convince me that there is or say that, oh, you've done well. I'm disappointed, and I will be disappointed in this first year because I know I should have and could have done so much better. However, all that's doing is motivating me to say by the end of year 2, if God gives me that long and keeps me healthy and gives me the ability to do this, that you're going to see a different person, that I'm going to look different, and my body will be different, and there is no way that anyone can look and say there's only been a small change, including myself, when I'm more critical than anyone else probably. There's no way that anyone will be able to say that 2013. I'm not going from November 15th because it's 11 days from my birthday. So what I decided to do was kind of like take those 10 days off, and my year 2 is starting November 27th, the day after my birthday, which is tomorrow. November 27th is tomorrow. The last day